I'm spending 100 days in Minecraft Pixelmon using only Mega Evolution Pokemon. This was done on the Smashmc server. Let's find out what happened. I started off by choosing Beldum as my starter, as I wanted to choose one of the custom starters instead of one of the regular ones. As it was Christmas time, there were the event presents, and I got loads of these event presents and got random items from them. I even got some rare candy so I could level my Beldum all the way up to level 20, so that it could then evolve into a Matang, which was awesome. I then got a Mass Move from this present, and after this I even got a custom texture Sunflora, which looked awesome. I then started getting lucky blocks from these presents, which was amazing, and it would give me such cool Pokemon. I even got a virtual Aura key and also some other keys like some Mega Stone keys. I then evolved my Matang all the way into a Metagross. Awesome. Another random shiny.
Inteleon. And then my rare lucky block, come on.
Oh, they are legends.
No way, no way.
They are legends. Magnemite.
There's no way.
Grimer.
I just got a Ho-Oh. Oh my god.
You actually need that for Salamence, don't you?
There's no way.
You actually need that for Salamence. Holy
That's insane.
That's amazing, bro. That's incredible. Ready to see mine?
Masterful, yeah.
Ready to see mine?
Yeah, go on. That's not bad. It's not bad.
No, don't give me that's not bad. It's After finally collecting all the presents, this was my total haul of it, and I got loads of rare candies and loads of good other items, like the Mega Blastoise site. After this, I also actually thought Diante's a pretty good legend, due to the fact that it's one of the few legends that can actually Mega Evolve, so it was actually a really good pick. I ended up trying to beat the system and get myself a Mega Charizard. Hopefully it would give me it, but unfortunately it just gave me a regular Charizard. However, it did give me a G-Max, which was pretty awesome, to be honest with you. I then headed to the boss tower where I could find loads of boss Pokemon and defeat them to get loads of levels and loads of good rewards from them. I then went to a level grinder to make this a little bit easier for myself and get my Pokemon higher levels. I then headed into Ultra Space and there were these Beast Balls which have really good rewards inside, like this Assault Vest. I then headed to the Extreme Hose and wanted to find some more Mega Evolution Pokemon. After this though, me and Wilson found this really cool island where there was a massive open plains and it'd be a really cool place to build a house and our base. I then headed mining as we needed some resources like some bauxite and also some diamonds. I then headed back to the spawn as there was these trainers, and if you defeated them, they would give you a rare candy reward. So it'd be really easy to level up my Pokemon on this. Wilson I then found a wild Kyogre, which I couldn't believe. I ended up letting Wilson catch it as he wanted it for his fusion team, and I was happy with this. I then did some vote crates so that I could get some awesome battle items, and even also some fusion shards so I could make a fusion potentially. I then headed home to see that Wilson made this amazing base which looks so cool, and even made the landscape for it. What an amazing house and area. He then showed me his new Marsh Metal Fusion, which looked awesome. And I then went to Level Grinder so I could level up my Metagross all the way up to level 100 now. With my Metagross now at level 100 as well, there's had 2 level 100 Pokemon, which is great. I then did some TMs with my Pokemon so I had the best movesets possible, and I went to try on one of the gyms. However though, these gyms are really strong, and going with only 4 Pokemon, I had no chance of winning this unfortunately. After this though, I knew that I had to go find some new Pokemon. I went out on Charizard and tried to find some more Pokemon to add to my team that could actually Mega Evolve. I ended up finding this Butterfree Raid Den, which was really good because it was a 4-star. And also showed me off his new Sacred Vents Fusion, which was Ho-Oh and Salamence. I think some really good XP candy from the Beautifly, and it also even showed me how he did his fusions and made Absoldio. What an amazing feature to the server. I then did some final rare candy leveling on Charizard, and then I did a trade with Wilson so I could get myself a Garchomp and also an Electrike. While chasing this Pelipper down, I found myself a shiny Slowpoke. Or really, Wilson found it for me. He said I could have it though, as I let him have the Kyogre. I was so happy about it. I straight away went and took it to Level Grinder so I could have a Slowbro. After getting myself a Slowbro, I also got myself a Manectric from the Electric that Wilson also gave me. Once I had these for my team though, I wanted to try to take on this level 100 trainer Cyrod, but he beat me as I only had 2 level 100s. I then Mega Evolved my shiny Slowbro for the first time, and its shiny Mega was so awesome. I was really happy to have this on my team. I then bought myself a route so I could evolve this later into either Gallade or Gardevoir. And then I headed to the level grinder and end up with these levels of Pokemon. I went back to challenge the grass gym and I ended up winning this one thanks to my Mega Metagross, which was so good in this battle. I then went to test my luck against the Ghost Gym, and I wasn't too sure if I could win this as a lot of my Pokemon are weak to Ghost type Pokemon. And even some of the Mega Sableye, which burned my Diancie, but luckily I was able to get it really low and on the verge of fainting. I then got Gengar low before it ended with Energy Ball, and then Mega Metagross went to work again. I was able to take out almost the entire Ghost Gym, take out the Chandelure, Gengar, Sableye. Then it got scary with a Shedinja, but luckily my Manectric had Bite, and Aerodactyl on 4 HP won me the battle. I then got really greedy and went for the Dragon Gym. But unfortunately, this gym was just too strong, even with my Fairy type Diancie, and Earthquake with Flygon took it out. I then went to the boss tower to take some rare battle items and also some rare candies to level my Pokemon. And I then headed to the EV trainer to EV train my route so that I could get a Gallade. Then did a Pokemon for Maractus. And then when I got back to my base, I evolved my Curlier with a Dawnstone into a Gallade, which I was so happy about. After this, I went to level grinders to level my whole team to level 100. With this now, I felt confident going in, battling the gyms, and I was feeling ready to enter the war zone. I taught my Pokemon some new moves so that if I did get battled and challenged in the war zone, I could be able to hold my own against the trainers. I then decided it was finally time to go to the war zone, and here I could be battled by any trainer, and my Pokemon could be stolen if I lose the battle. But rare legendary Pokemon spawn and high level Pokemon, just as Nihilego and this level 92 Aragon, which I end up catching. While trying to capture this Trico though, this guy entered a battle with me, and this meant I could end up losing one of my Pokemon if I end up losing the battle. I started off pretty well by getting a Scarvantia low, but did end up taking out my Charizard as his Scarvantia was still faster than mine. But while this time, a Reshiram spawned behind us. My Metagross ended up taking out that Scarvantia, which I was really happy about. However, it did have Sticky Web set up, so I was in a lot of trouble, and his Entei ended up killing my Aerodactyl, but Diancie went to work as it took out not only Entei, but Articuno, as well as Haxorus, which was amazing. We got into a tough spot though, as I ended up taking out to Musharna. We got stuck in a waiting glitch, which meant neither of us could actually do anything, but because he felt that I was winning the battle, he ended up leaving, and I ended up winning my first ever bout in the war zone. He didn't have any Mega Pokemon though, so I only ended up taking his Musharna and left his Legends alone. I then ended up catching myself this Sceptile, as I didn't end up catching the Trico, which meant now I can have a Mega Sceptile. I also caught a Camerupt, but then the guy challenged me to another battle, but he brought in an entirely new team just to beat mine. This wasn't good for me. With this team now, it was a lot harder as he had a Regidrago and also a Sceptile. But not only this, he had a Lycanroc, which I let set up Swords Dance, and it swept my entire team until it was just Charizard Entei, and he won the battle. He ended up taking my shiny Aerodactyl as well, which I was so upset about. I decided I wanted to go back to the level grinders. I wanted to get my Sceptile to level 100 so I could go back to the war zone. While in the war zone, I ended up catching myself a Houndoom. I didn't give myself enough time, so I had to re-enter, but I ended up catching myself as well a Haunter. After capturing this Haunter, I wanted to go try the Dragon Gym again. This time, I didn't win once again, but I got closer as I got just down to the Flapple. I also then got a daily uncommon Lucky Block where I got a shiny Carbotops, but unfortunately, it can't Mega Evolve. I went back to try the Dragon Gym one more time. I was able to beat it thanks to me taking Mega Slowbro this time instead of Mega Metagross. Thanks to Glade, we took out the jumper at the end, and I wanted to try my hand at the Ground Gym. And once again, Mega Slowbro pulled through for me, and I was able to beat the Ground Gym on my first attempt. After this, I then went to the Rock Gym as I was really feeling myself for these gyms, but this Rock Gym was too strong because a Mega Aerodactyl took out half of my team. I'd have to come back to this gym later on. I then decided to go back to the boss house so I could get some better rewards and battle items for my team going into these gyms. After this, I decided to head out, and I wanted to go challenge him one more time. But before that, I had some vote crates and got some leftovers. I then went back, decided to challenge him, and Mega Slowbro was able to deal with the Mega Aerodactyl, which set my team up for a good path in the rest of this battle, and I was able to win against the Rock Gym. However, I wanted to go into the next gym, but needed to create a new team with some more TMs. I then went to the next gym, and I thought I set up really well. As they started with the Mega Beedrill, my Aggron was able to take out of one Rock Sign. I thought this set me up really good for the rest of the battle. However, this Toxapex actually scolded my Metagross, and then switched to Drapion, which is a Dark type. I couldn't do much against this gym. It was super tough. I'll have to come back to it later to be able to beat it. I decided to help me beat the next gyms. I needed a Larvitar so I could evolve it all the way to a Tyranitar. So I went and EV trained it with attack and speed, and then leveled it all the way to level 100. I then went to take on the Poison Gym once more, and I was able to beat it thanks to Diancie and Tyranitar doing a lot of work for me. And I even got 3 Master Balls as a reward for beating it. I then went to the next gym, which was the Steel Gym. However, even my Mega Manectric, I wasn't able to beat it. Even though I had Flamethrower on a lot of Pokemon, this Steel Gym was really hard, even with Katana as an Ultra Beast. I couldn't beat this gym on the first attempt though, but it was one of the last gyms, so it was obviously going to be super tough. I was able to take out not only Metagross, Gallade, also finish Slowbro off as well. I decided I need to enter the Warzone to try and get some rare legendary Pokemon and also high level Megas. Just like this Blastoise I caught, but I only gave myself 5 minutes. I felt there wasn't enough time as I ran out of time pretty quick only catching the Blastoise. I re-entered with 10 minutes, but halfway through without finding anything, this guy entered a battle with me. Another battle in the Warzone. I wasn't sure if I'd win this one. Luckily, Metagross was able to take out his Garvantula, but not only that, while he was starting his next move, an Eternatus spawned behind us. I couldn't leave and I couldn't go and capture it because of this. He then brought out his shiny Mimikyu, which I knew was a jolly nature, and it also had max EVs and IVs. This is ridiculous. I ended up losing my Metagross to the Mimikyu, not before getting off a Bullet Punch, and then Diancie was able to finish off the Mimikyu after I'd set up Stealth Rocks, as they got greedy and tried to set up Sword Stance. This then led to their fall, as I was able to take out the Cloyster after they didn't go for another liquidation, which would have definitely killed my Diancie. Luckily though, because of this, it set me up for the rest of the battle. His Breloom was able to take out my Diancie, but I felt this was the end at this point. Charizard then almost took out Goodra, but was able to take out my Charizard due to Thunderbolt. Luckily, Sceptile came out and did the work. It took out Goodra, it even took out Malamar, and then it was just Breloom. And because of Manectric having Flamethrower, I was able to take out the Breloom, and I was able to steal one of his Pokemon. I end up stealing the shiny Mimikyu. How could I not? Then I caught myself a Swampert, and Swampert is one of my favorite starter Pokemon. Not only that though, I realized that while walking through the Warzone, I got more time, and a Dialga spawned behind me. I was able to capture a Dialga in the Warzone. It can't Mega Evolve, however, I might be able to trade with a player later on so I can get a legendary Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. Not only capturing Dialga, I then saw that a Mew had spawned in the Warzone, which was amazing. I ended up finding the Mew as well, which was ridiculous. Not only Dialga, but a Mew in the Warzone as well. How could I get any luckier in the Warzone on this run here? I think getting the Mimikyu, Dialga, Mew, and also Swampert led to a pretty successful Warzone for me. What happened next was crazy. The guy who I saw the Mimikyu from wanted it back, and we did a trade where he gave me a bit of money, Sceptile and Tyranitar, and I gave him his Mimikyu back. I was happy to do this trade as it meant now I could Mega Evolve my entire team of 6 to their Mega Evolution forms, and they looked awesome like this. I was so happy that I was able to complete this before day 100, but we weren't done yet. We still had 8 more days to go. I then challenged Wilson to a match against his strongest team that weren't fusions, and I managed to win with my Mega Evolution team thanks to this. This team was crazy strong. I was just able to win. I felt confident to take on the Steel Gym, but still was unable to beat it. I then went to the new gym, which is the Electric Gym though, and I felt confident in beating this, as both of us set up. His Garvantula set up Stick Webs to the match, and I set up Stealth Rocks. But luckily, my new Mega Tyranitar was able to take out their Mega Manectric and also take out the Pincurchin at the end, which meant I had beaten the Electric Gym, which left just one gym left to defeat, and that was the Steel Gym. Me was and then built Gloom Machine, and of course I had Mew, so I ended up putting my Mew in, and we had 3 attempts of getting a Mewtwo. On the first attempt, we unfortunately only got a Ditto, but we still had 2 more attempts, and we were using Diamond Blocks. On the second one, we still only got a Ditto. For this third attempt, I put the Diamond Blocks in, and I felt really confident that we would get a Mewtwo. However, we just got another Ditto. What were the chances of getting 3 Dittos out of that? Like, honestly. Wilson had his own Mew, though, luckily, after fighting in the jungle. And on his first attempt, he got a Mewtwo, which was crazy. While the Mewtwo was coming up, I had a plan, and I was going to steal the Mewtwo, as I needed this because it can Mega Evolve. I ended up getting in front of Wilson, and I stole the Mewtwo away from him, and I ended up catching it in a park pool. I know this is kind of cheap, but I needed it. Wilson then offered a trade. It was a Nihilego, which I don't necessarily need, but the more important thing, he had a Diancie out, which meant I could Mega Evolve my Diancie. I, of course, accepted this trade, as it's going to be hard to find a Mega Mewtwo now with a few days left. So I could now Mega Evolve my Diancie, which I thought was a great trade-off. I straight away went into a battle against Taurus, and this Diancie looks incredible. What an amazing design for a Mega Pokemon. After this, I decided I want to spend my last days in the Warzone. And in the Warzone, after 7 minutes finding nothing, I got challenged to another battle. We got into a tough spot where it came down to a cloistered Diancie again, and he still had an Amoonguss in the back. It came right down to the wire. It was just Diancie and Amoonguss, both low, and they were both in range of death. It was down to a speed tie. But unfortunately, the guy's game ended up freezing. We decided that I was going to win the battle and I could get one of those Pokemon. And he had a Sizzle, which was amazing because he can Mega Evolve. When I went to check my Warzone bank, it wasn't there. It just disappeared from the server for some reason. I also saw that I'd actually beat the 4th best player on the server when battling in the Warzone, which was great. I felt really confident now. I decided to finish off my days in the Warzone, and I wanted to have a goal of capturing every Mega Evolution Pokemon possible. So I ended up catching myself a Sharpedo, not before this guy started to chase me down and tried to get in a battle with me. But I really didn't want a battle at the end of these days. I felt I had done enough. I then ended up getting back into the Warzone after running away from this guy, and I ended up catching myself not only a Lopunny, but I also caught myself a Blaziken, and I also caught a Kangaskhan. If you guys have made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments what your favorite Mega Evolution Pokemon is. After this, I tried to take on the Steel Gym one more time. However, when I got there, it said I had badge requirements, and unfortunately, all the badges had reset, so I had to go all the way back to the Grass Gym. I decided I would try to take on every gym leader and defeat them all in one foul swoop on day 100. I started off with the Grass Gym and I was able to beat it pretty easily, and then the Ghost Gym was up next, where thanks to Diancie and Tyranitar, I was able to beat it pretty easily. Then came up to the Dragon Gym now, which I've had problems in the past with, and I started off wrong by starting off with Metagross against Charizard. I was able to take on Metagross pretty easily, and that didn't mean good for the rest of my team, as he then brought out his Flygon, was able to take on my Charizard with one Stone Edge, and then it came down just to Diancie and Slowbro. But the Dragon Gym had too many Pokemon left. I was able to take on the Apple Turn, but then the Flapple U-turn, which ended Diancie, and left Slowbro against Drampa. But with one Draco Meteor, Drampa was able to take out Slowbro. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, please make sure you like and subscribe. We're really close to 1,000 subscribers, so let's try and hit it with this video. Thanks, guys.